All right, well, thanks so much for having me. I really appreciate you all being here. Then the other part. Anybody in here do the Boston Marathon last year, just by chance? You got 20 people in the back, good. How do we run your race? Focus on others. Wait a minute, that doesn't make any sense. Focus on others to run our race. You just said, stay in your lane, bro. Like, why are you looking over? What does that mean? Well, here's what it means. Linden, last year, the Boston Marathon, it was the worst conditions they've ever had in the Boston Marathon. It was high 30s when the race started. It was low 30s when the race ended. Torrential downpours the whole time. 30 to 40 mile an hour headwinds the whole race. The worst conditions they've ever had. And so Linden, at mile 6, she tells one of the fellow Americans, that Shalane Flanagan, who has a chance to possibly win this thing, that I'm gonna drop out. She tells her she's gonna drop out, but she says, look, if you need anything, if you need me to block the win or anything, just let me know. So the next mile, Shalane Flanagan says, can I go use the bathroom? Not for her to go with her or anything, but can I go use the bathroom? Linden says, okay, I'm gonna hold up that group and I'll wait for you. She waits for her fellow competitor to use the bathroom, come back, and then they catch back up. Why do I share that story? Because at mile 13, Shalane Flanagan was the one who had dropped back. But Linden gets this thing that we all get in our life. We just don't know when it's coming. She gets that second wind. That second wind. At mile 20, she's in 3rd place, and she ends up passing the other 2 women to become the first American to win the Boston Marathon since 1985. Ruckus applause for her, like I had anything to do with it. But yeah, right? Think about that. She focused on somebody else, and that helped her. This is by design, it's not by default. We have to be in this mode. So why did she do that, and how does that help us out? Focusing on others. Well, see, what happens is we get stuck inside our own head. Our own mind wants us to be safe. And then when we get stuck inside our own head, unable to make decisions on whether or not we should do this or do that, when we get stuck inside our own head, we're behind enemy lines. How do we get outside of our own head? Thank you all so much. God bless.